Well, welcome back. This is the final video for Chapter 1. Now this slide and the next slide, simply, you don't have to know a whole lot or just memorize the information on this at all. I just want to give you a little bit of an overview here just so you have an idea as to what to think about. With these two slides, I just want you to understand that the adoption of the marketing concept varies based upon the type of organization, but the marketing concept itself is continuing to penetrate all different types of organizations. It's not just geared towards one type of organization at all. Now, Exhibit 4.1 that you see here and on this slide here that I just changed to is straight from the book, and it shows some differences in the outlooks between the adopters of the marketing concept and some managers who are typical within some production-oriented fields. Right. Just so that you understand Exhibit 4.1, what the point of this is that the marketing concept forces the company to think through what they are doing and why they are doing it. Remember, companies need to focus their attention on consumers and their needs and wants and try to meet those expected needs and wants at a reasonable price. All right, moving on to the marketing concept and customer value. It's always better to understand what it takes to satisfy a customer. It's very useful to take the customer's point of view. Not necessarily what you think is going to be a good product or a good sell, but what the customer, the consumer, feels is going to be a good product at a reasonable price. Now, customer value is simply the difference between the benefits that a customer sees from the marketing offering of the company and the cost of obtaining those. It's the difference between the benefits that they are perceiving they will get compared to the cost of paying for the product, the good or the service. Different customers see different benefits in different ways and see costs in different ways. What one person thinks is really expensive, another person might think is very affordable. So they will vary based upon customers, from customer to customer. The customer may not always dwell on value as the main determinant of buying a product. Okay, it may not be coming down to value. There may be other characteristics that are involved, but value is usually a component that is considered, at least at some point, with the majority of customers. The consumer is definitely going to be considered satisfied when the customer value is higher. In essence, the benefits that they receive exceed the cost by a large margin. Okay, the benefits that they get is so much greater than what they paid for the product, and that is what you want. This customer value really can build relationships within the company, between the company and the customers, and you want to have those lifelong customers and strong relationships. Now, all this slide is pretty much telling you is that a consumer is likely to be more satisfied when customer value is high. Okay, that perceived value at a lower cost. This is when the benefits exceed the costs by a large margin, okay, by a lot. On the other hand, a consumer who sees the costs as greater than the benefits, okay, costs are higher than what the benefits are that they're getting back, they're not likely to buy into the product and probably will not be one of your customers. So just keep that in mind. Coming to checking your knowledge. Simply asks, which of the following statements made by marketing managers illustrates an understanding of the concept of customer value? A, it's more important to acquire new customers than retain old ones. B, the only time it's really necessary to demonstrate superior customer value is right before the actual sale. C, my main concern is with meeting this month's sales quota. I'll worry about relationship building later. D, I might think my product is a good value, but what really counts is if the customer thinks it's a good value. And E, customer value really boils down to which product is the least expensive. Only one of these focuses on the customer's perspective, their point of view, and what they hold important, and that would be letter D. All the other ones are definitely not true for customer value. Another, checking your knowledge. A computer manufacturer is attempting to increase the customer value associated with purchases of its products. Which of the following might be a way to achieve this increase in value? A, reduce price. B, increase technical support for customers. C, increase warranty coverage. D, offer free shipping. E, any of the above depending on the needs of the target market. And the best answer for that one would be E, because they are all valuable alternatives to increasing the customer value. Customers always like lower prices, more help, warranties, free shipping. All of that is very important. All right, Exhibit 1.6 talks about total company effort to satisfy the customers. Now, in a firm that has adopted the marketing concept, everyone has to focus on customer satisfaction, and that's very important. It's a company-wide effort. The organization needs to offer superior customer value. Then that customer value in turn helps to attract customers. Okay, gets customers in, new customers in, and keeps growing the customer base. Then once the customers are in, it keeps them satisfied after the purchase, and that's especially where it comes in with the products being helpful and handy, meeting the needs and wants that they have, as well as having additional customer support. Then the satisfaction leads to repeat purchase, which is what you really want to have, and most likely purchases of other products offered by the company. So it's not just that one product that they're buying, they're now buying additional things that the company is making. And then in this way, the firm builds a profitable relationship with its customers. The bottom line here is that it's a win-win, because the customers are getting products and service that they feel is beneficial to them, and the company is getting a repeat customer and potentially a customer who is going to become brand loyal to them. And that's a big win for them. Now, the marketing concept does not only apply to for-profit organizations, but also to nonprofit organizations. Nonprofit organizations such as the Red Cross are organizations that, instead of making a profit and giving it to, whether it be like shareholders or giving it to the owner of the company or the corporation, what they're doing is taking that money that would be considered profit and helping people who are in need, giving it to charitable organizations, whatever it happens to be. Some examples of these would be charities, libraries, museums, things like that. Now, nonprofit organizations are relative newcomers to marketing. They haven't really done a whole lot of that in the past as compared to for-profit organizations, but they are really starting to do a lot more of that now. Nonprofits, as I mentioned, often exist to accomplish a goal that is not related to a traditional customer and a traditional customer's satisfaction. It's when people are pretty much in need or want something specific or unique. Many nonprofits raise money from different groups and then spend it on different quote-unquote customers, as the book refers to them. Libraries will raise money from all different types of people and then spend money upgrading their resources, upgrading the books, the movies, the activities that they have as well, and it may not be directly towards the people who donated the money. It could be unique to somebody else. Nonprofits don't have a traditional bottom line. They're not all about the bottom line, making the money, how much profit do they have. They're all about taking any money that they earn and providing services or help to people who would need them or want them in the community. Right, the micro-macro dilemma. The bottom line with this is what is good for a firm or a couple firms, and even sometimes their consumers, may not be good for society as a whole. Right, they're not looking at the impact on society. They're just looking at what is in it for them. A big area here is with dealing with the environment. Okay, what do companies do to help the environment? But some companies also have the standpoint that it doesn't really make a difference. We're making a good product at a good price for our customers. The impact on the environment is second nature. We don't have to really worry about that. So the example that the book has is that there are people, a lot of people actually in New York City, who buy bottled water, but they buy the bottled water in spite of the city providing all of its citizens with safe, good tasting, clean, resourceful tap water. They still want to buy the bottled water. And the majority of people, from what I understand, do not recycle the plastics, and the plastic bottles end up in landfills where they actually have like some of the chemicals that are made in them leach into the soil and cause problems, and plastics take forever to break down, so it's a big problem. But neither the company nor the consumers are really doing a whole lot about it to fix that issue. And so what is good for some firms and consumers may not be good for society as a whole, and that's a good example that the book provides. Right, social responsibility and marketing ethics. Social responsibility is simply an obligation to improve the organization's effects in society. This could be donating to charities, having service days, helping people in the community, whatever it happens to be. A lot of ways that they could do that. Some products that many people use also are not necessarily good for them. Right? Some products are not necessarily good. So should all consumers' needs and wants be satisfied? And that's a big debate. Cigarettes, not healthy. Not healthy for the person who is smoking the cigarette, not healthy for the people who are breathing in the air around the person smoking the cigarette. So should those people's needs and wants be satisfied? Well, companies are making money off of it. There's profit to be made. So they have the right to do that, but that's a debate that, continues to go on. Do all marketers act responsibly? No, is the easy answer. Some do. Some definitely do, but not all of them. Sometimes firms or individual people within a marketing department try to advance their own personal interests, try to make themselves look better at the expense of customers, and that can happen. What if profits suffer? That's $1 million question, because companies need to make money, they need to make a profit in order to succeed and to stay in business. So some marketers are looking at more of a long-term view instead of the short-term. Customer satisfaction goes beyond the point of sale. It's more than just selling a product, it's keeping that relationship going, and that's where the profits will hopefully be able to continue on. Criticisms. These are some examples of criticisms of marketing. Some criticisms and some complaints, actually, about marketing. Advertising is everywhere, and oftentimes people consider it annoying, misleading, and a waste of money and a waste of time. A lot of people agree with that. The quality of the product is becoming more and more poor, not as high quality as it was, and some products are not even safe for people to use. That's a criticism. There are too many unnecessary products, and those products have a very high price. People are spending too much on certain products that can be made significantly less expensive. Some marketing creates interest in products that can help pollute the environment, as we mentioned before. That's not a good thing. There is some information is collected about consumers, some private information about consumers, and then some companies actually use that information to sell them products that they don't want, that they don't need, and also some companies will sell that information to other companies to make money themselves, which is a little bit ridiculous. Lastly, the easy consumer credit, people have access to credit a lot easier now than what they have in the past, and it allows people to buy things that they don't need and they can't afford, but when they buy it on credit, they don't have to have the money up front, and it gets people into severe debt and major problems. So that's another major criticism of marketing. All right, this brings us to the end of Chapter 1. Good luck, and we'll see you later.